Welcome back to another episode of the DVO show with me, DVO, your host. And I just realized I forgot to upload an episode last week. I'm so sorry. It was Halloween weekend, a lot of parties, a lot of things to do with the family and a toddler, and I totally just spaced it. Well, I shouldn't say I totally spaced it. I remembered it. I had a solution. I was going to do it a day late, and that one I totally spaced. So I apologize. But anyway, back again for a new episode. And anyway, I hope you guys had a really great Halloween at the time of this recording and getting episode ready. And it's now Thanksgiving time. I love Thanksgiving time. I love being thankful. It's a good reminder. Getting into the holiday season, if you know me, I love the holidays. Huge fan. I already have a lot of plans booked with my family for the holiday season. Starting soon, we're getting our Christmas decorations ready. Or I should say, we've already put up our Thanksgiving decorations. We're just getting ready to put up our Christmas tree. I do wait till after Thanksgiving before I put up the Christmas decorations other than the tree. However, my family and I are already listening to Christmas music. Yep, we're those people. I just love it. What can I say? I love it. Puts me in a good mood. And that's what I'm about these days, being in a good mood. So anyway, holidays are coming up. That means New Year's and people make their resolutions. So I'm not going to say let's talk about that. But anyway, this episode I just realized is kind of talking about changing, a new you, maybe some resolutions. I don't know. And if that's the case, I just want to share some input on this episode about that. And what I want to say is, if you're trying to make some change, I remember a New Year's a few years back, and I had some goals, and I just knew I needed to make some things change. And I don't remember what year this was. I want to say it was going to be the new year of 2006, maybe. And I remember just telling my friends, like, I'm going to do something big this year. And they said, what? And I said, I don't know. Just something's got to change. Something big has got to happen. And that was the year I was introduced to my first mentor. And I really started partaking on my entrepreneurial journey. It was that year, 2006. So fast forward, here we are getting close to 2023. And, that's been 17 years now. Anyway, I want to talk about that because there's some things that I didn't realize at the time. And I wish I did. So I want to share with you. And that's this. If you plan on changing, if you plan on being a better version of yourself, a different version of yourself, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, by the way. If you are going to change, then your environment needs to change. Okay? You can't be the only change. Your surroundings need to change. Let's just throw out some examples. I know I just mentioned New Year's, but anyway, one of the biggest goals for people is usually under two categories: money, finance, or health and weight loss. Okay, those are usually the two categories. So if one of your goals is, let's just say, I want to lose 25 pounds by the end of the year. If that's going to be a change of you, and you're going to put some goals in place, like, okay, I'm going to change my diet, but your environment needs to change. You need to be around people that think about physical fitness and health. You need to surround yourself by that. I'm not saying you need to put yourself in the position to be around those people all the time, also, but that would be a great idea. But maybe it's what are you paying attention to on social media? Are you following fitness influencers, fitness people? Are you following those type of people? Are you following them? And when you're scrolling in your feed, that's what's popping up, okay? Because you need to change your surroundings, your environment as well. So that means you can't go into bakeries if that's your goal. If your goal is to lose 25 pounds, then you should change your surroundings and don't walk into bakeries. Don't be surprised when you walk in there and you're craving something. All right. If your goal is to save more money or make more money, again, that's one of the popular ones. Then you need to change your environment. You need to stop hanging out with people that make stupid decisions with their money and they're blowing their money. You gotta stop hanging out with people because they'll make you think it's okay to do that, even though you know better that it's not, they'll kind of rub off on you. You need to find people who are making good decisions with their money, being successful with their money, or they're also on the path. You need to change your environment to match your goals and the new version of yourself that you are shooting for. I hope that makes sense. Because if you want to change you, you need to change your environment. You need to change your surroundings. Whether that's where are you physically going, because that could be part of it too, right? It could be physically where you're going, what you're doing, or it could be metaphorically your surroundings being the people you're around. And I had to realize that too. I couldn't hang out with certain people because they were negative. And I kind of would catch myself thinking negatively, acting negatively, being negative with my life. And I knew I couldn't be around that. So I wouldn't cut them out of my life. I would just minimize the time or the amount of time with them or in certain environments. Like I knew, for example, I had to stay out of the clubs, the nightclubs, because I was just making really bad decisions. I was drinking too much. I was getting into fights. I was focused on girls, and it just wasn't really the long-term goal that I wanted, right? It was fun for the time being, but I knew if I wanted to make some big changes with my life and be a better version of myself for my future, I needed to stop doing things sooner than later. Those are just things I had to look at internally and make those decisions. And there were certain people that I would hang out with, and I just thought, oh, I can't hang out with you all the time because you're a bad influence on me. I need to hang out with these other people more often because they're on a trajectory that I want to follow. And that's hard sometimes, and that was hard because, certain people are your friends or acquaintances, and you get accustomed to doing certain routines every day or weekly or monthly, whatever. You get set in your routines, and you have to change. Like right now, I'm really thinking more about my health because I'm realizing my metabolism isn't as fast as it used to be. And so I realize I need to do things about my health. So I know I have to limit what I eat. Before I could eat a certain amount, and that's fine. Now I realize I can't eat that amount because it'll stick with me. I have to eat less or I have to burn more calories. Anyway, it's a balancing act, right? You have to find that balance. That's life, right? The yin and the yang. You have to find the balance in life. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about, right? If you want to change, and you should always want to change for the better, then your environment needs to change. And sometimes that means your significant other, right? If you are changing too drastically because you have this ideology, you have a goal you're setting for, you have a place you want to be, a future self you want to be, and you're just going for that as fast as you can, as hard as you can, but you might forget your significant other. And you don't want to do that because you're at a point where you're at a balance and you don't want to tip the scale too much in one direction. Okay, so even with your significant other, your partner, whatever you want to call them, in my example, I'm married, I have a wife. So if I have to include her in my goals, I have to include her in my visions so that she knows where I'm going so she can stay with me. Right? We can't be way off. Let's say, for example, too, we switch the roles. If she's constantly going to the gym, watching her diet, and I don't, well, we're going to tip the scales literally and metaphorically in the wrong direction. So when I see her and she's like, okay, I got to eat healthy, I need to be better, I need to go to the gym, then I know, okay, me too. I'm laxing there. I also need to do that too because we don't want to be off scale too much in one direction. So that makes me say, okay, you're right, me too. I'm gonna watch what I'm eating as well, or I'm going to be going to the gym just as much as you so that we are on the same track. And so you need to be there with your significant other. Don't leave them in the dust. I've seen a lot of people that start business and they have great goals, but they're not, and they're self-improving like crazy in the right way, but they're not including their spouse. And there's a tip and scale where the spouse is like, whoa, what are you doing? Where are you going? You're spending too much time doing this. And they're not seeing the big vision because the other spouse wasn't sharing it. And then they retract back and they're not shooting for their goals anymore. And they end up in the same position they were. So they had great intentions, poor execution, and it ultimately hurt them. You know, when I was single, it was a lot easier for me to just make whatever decision I want. Now that I'm married with a family, I can't do that. But being married with a family also is what drives me more than anything. So anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. It's good to want to be the better version of yourself. It's good to change. Change is good. Change for the better, I should say, is really good. And so if you're going to change, your environment needs to change. Your surroundings need to change. You can't be doing the same things and expect different results from that, which is the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So you have to change. Your surroundings have to change. If you have questions like what things do you need to do, what can you be better at, what can you change around your environment to help you get to the next level, message me, follow me, DM me. That's what I do, right? I help coach people in life, in business, in marriage, whatever it is, in finance. Message me. I want to help you. I want to help you win and succeed. Keep being awesome because I know you're awesome. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.